when, and I use the term loosely. Hey, welcome back to the shop today. The lift. My frame is gone. The chassis is gone. That's because it's out at the powder coat guy getting powder coated. So when it comes back, I'm going to be able to put it together and leave it together. I've got to get some stuff ready for that. So let's look over on the bench. The bench, for the most part, is clear of stuff. The only stuff of consequence is those fork tubes right there. So we're going to work on those today. The previous owner got rid of the reflector buses that usually are in this area here. I usually take them off on the lathe. You can't take them off with, a file, a Makita, a flap disc. There's a number of ways to get them off without a lathe. And I suspect he took these off with a Makita. I could see the marks, the marks the Makita leaves and something when you're grinding on it. I'm going to take them out, put them on the lathe, and my concern is, you saw the frame and how dicked up the frame was from him cutting on it and gouges and all that. And under this black paint, which of course I always say hides a lot of secrets, there might be a great deal of unevenness in here, and I want these polished as shiny as I could get them. So we're going to put them on the lathe, see how round they are, and try to make them round again if they're not, and then we're going to polish them up. Of course, everything has got to come apart here. And I think these are the Kayaba forks, sliders. It might say under here, but I think these are the Kayabas, not the Showas. I don't think it really matters much. The upper tubes actually look pretty good. So let's take these apart, and I always find forks to be especially messy. The fluid in there just keeps coming and coming and coming. But anyway, let's take these apart and get them out on the lathe and see how close to round they are, and maybe shave hopefully no more than 5/10 thousandths off to get them round and smooth again. I almost took this off, but there's a screw on the bottom you got to take out, and if there's spring pressure on the dampers and all that, it makes that screw on the bottom easier to get out. Dang. That wasn't bad. It's actually oil, and it's actually clear. There's no evidence of water in there, which means there's no rust in there. Beautiful. You got to love that. Yeah, usually these rings are all rusted up, but this is almost perfect. Usually that's all rusted up too, but it's not bad. And there we go. Man, that is in good shape. Whoa. All right, I got my lower leg here set up in the lathe. I use this cutting tool on it. It's got a radius on each end because I don't want to leave a sharp line. I want to blend it into anything that's sticking out. It's been a while since I've shaved a fork leg, and since the last time I shaved one, I think I learned a few things about these cutting tools and the shape they need to have. But anyway, this has got a very generous rake in it because aluminum needs a very generous rake. So I think this tool is going to work good. So we're going to spin it up in a little bit here and see what happens. I don't know if it's immediately obvious or not, but there's a big gouge in here. There's a gouge in there. I could see grinder marks. I could see gouges. I spun this around by hand, and the cutting tool hits here and here, but it doesn't hit in the middle, so I know it's out around. I could see more gouges over here. The question gets to be, how much can you safely remove before it's too much? And the answer is, I don't know. Just want to see where else the cutting tool might be hitting. And I got a fair amount of stick out on this thing because I've got to clear these ears here. But I think we're going to be ready to give it a spin here. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And I crank the speed up a little bit on the feed. Yeah, we're just going to polish that out. I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to ride up as close to this flange as I could get manually. Yeah, that'll work. And I think we're going to stop right there. I got the other leg set up in here. I'm not going to show you because, you know, it's boring. But anyway, one thing that is a little bit interesting. On the other fork leg, there was this hole that I could put the live center on. So centering this up was no problem. There is a hole on this one, but it's way down in there and the live center won't reach. Years ago, I had an old cap because I needed to shave one of these years ago. And I found the center on the mill and put a hole in it to accommodate the live center. So I bolt the cap on to the fork leg and now I'm centered. At least I think I'm centered. I'm not going to put a dial indicator on it, but what I am going to do is spin it. We'll just see how close or far it looks and see if I need to do anything else with it. Yeah, it's kind of off. Looks kind of off anyway. I'm going to turn this around. And that may or may not matter. I don't know. We'll see. Let's spin it again and see if it looks any better just by eyeball. Yeah, it looks pretty far off still. Not real happy with that. See how that one looks. Well, that definitely looks a lot better. Of course, it's not a live center. Could do that. Let me think about this. All right, I got a piece of scrap I machined to be just about the same diameter as the counter bore for the screw that holds the dampener in. So we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to run the center up onto that. And let's see what the runout looks like now. Well, calibrated eyeball says it's still far from perfect, but on the other hand, it's better than it was. It doesn't really matter, but I don't want to remove, 60 thousandths of metal from one side and 10 thousandths of an inch of metal from the other side. I wanted to remove even amounts, so I think we'll give that a try and see what happens. Like I say, I'm not going to make you watch another one of these. So here's my finished product. Very happy with that. Of course, I couldn't turn the area around these ears, so I've got this lump over here. Look how deeply gouged this is. I use a 3M deburring wheel, and I don't think there's going to be a great deal of difficulty in blending this all in, including this lump over here. So I'm fixing to go do that outside. I'm probably not going to video any of that because it's going to be at least 2 or 3 hours, I suppose, of the deburring wheel treatment and buffing wheels and maybe a file and maybe some carbide burrs to get all the, the gouges and the nicks, that kind of stuff out of here. It's just boring. But anyway, happy with this so far, and going to go do some finishing work on it. See you later. Bye. So here we are, hours, days, weeks, months later, and yeah, I finally got these the way I want them. Had to do quite a bit of work in some of the radius areas to, get everything smoothed out. There were those deep gouges in there. I used probably every polishing, grinding, sanding tool that I had. The 3M deburring wheel, the Dremel tool, little grinders, little carbides, little sanding drums, and it just is a matter of time of working the material over until you got it the way you want it. So anyway, here it is. I got it the way I want it, and I'm very happy with that. While I had the polishing stuff out, I decided to go after the top triple clamp, smoothing all the lumps off of it. Once again, the Dremel tool, the polishing wheel, the 3M deburring wheel, every implement, filing, sanding, grinding that I had. It's very tedious on something like this to get into all these little spaces, but hey, if you want it to look good, that's what you got to do. So once again, I'm very happy with this, and this part is ready to go on once I get the frame back from the powder coat guy. To wrap things up out here, looking ahead, something that's always bad to do, but looking ahead, I think the next thing I'm going to do is this cam cover. I think I am going to cut it, and I am going to polish it. And I'm not in favor, personally myself, of black paint on anything, because God only knows what kind of crud and corruption hides underneath here. Anyway, I hope I could straighten it out and get a decent finish on this. But I think that'll be tomorrow's project. And one of the reasons I want to get this done is because I want to put the bottom end of the engine together as soon as I possibly can. The flywheels are over here, and missing a sprocket shaft. The rod bearings and all that are done, but I want to get a sprocket shaft in it, true them up, and put the cases together. And then, of course, you got to do cams in a cam cover. So I want to get this done so that the engine will be ready to go. So hopefully the next time you see this, it'll be shining like a diamond in a goat's ass. And with that thought, I'm out of here, and we'll see you next time. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this stuff. Bye. Men, if you like this channel and this content, the single most important thing you could do to help grow this channel is to hit the subscribe button. I also have new design coffee cups and stickers available. You know, I like the old coffee cups, but I like these new ones even more. Links are included in the description down below. And for those of you who really want to go the extra mile, you could join me on Patreon. Link is also included in the description down below. And to all of you who have watched these videos, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.